What's up, boxing fans? This is TBE Boxing, back at you again. Today's topic, Teofimo Lopez. The takeover strikes again in dominant fashion against Josh Tartan Tornado Taylor. Let's chop it up and see what it's all about.
Got the money for minutes, pretty bitch, gotta show me titties. This is the life that I chose, huh? On the block with the pole, huh? This is the life that I chose, huh? On the block with the pole, huh? That life before riches, huh? That life before riches, huh? Pretty bitch, show me titties, huh? And I got the glazy run up on me, I'ma make you get it. I'ma make you get it.
Okay, boxing fans, we're gonna talk some boxing. We're gonna chop it up again. So the takeover strikes again. Teofimo uh, defeated the Tartan Tornado Josh Taylor in an exciting fight last night. Well, not last night, a couple of nights ago now. Well, actually, yeah, it was last night. Yeah, so it's still Sunday. Okay, so yeah. So Teofimo did his thing. He won the fight. Uh, it wasn't surprising, that he won, actually. It could have been predicted, and it probably was by many people. Now, this is what I said about the fight yesterday. Let's take a look.
You know what I'm saying? They don't know Gordo from the amateurs. That's the fucking problem. You know what I'm saying? This guy thinks he's coming over here to kill him. We're gonna box him, bro.
All right, well, when you get through there, we're gonna put you out to
beautiful. You're gonna see the most beautiful fucking boxing fucking shit that you ever seen, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Gordo is back. Is Gordo back?
He's back.
I know Gordo. See, I told you, I know.
He never left.
Okay. Right.
I was fucking up. I was fucking up, bro. I was pressuring him to go in and be hard. But I forgot my son is the best when he boxes. And you're going to see the best boxer in the world tomorrow.
Didn't I just say that, man?
And you guys going to see it. You guys going to see it. You know what I'm saying? We ain't coming to kill this guy.
Hey, see you.
We're going to fucking break him down little by little.
Wait, if you win, do I get a
And I'm telling him right now.
Did I come here for nothing? If you win, do you promise that it's Devin and Loma?
Fuck yeah, for $20 million, motherfucker. And you know
don't you
that.
price yourself out like that. Don't listen to him.
$20 million.
No, listen.
You know you love money, motherfucker. Come on, bro.
20? All right, y'all heard it. It takes $20 million to
$20 million.
You see what he said.
Teofimo Lopez versus Haney after we put the shit on this motherfucker. Because it's going to be a fucking boxing exhibition that you guys never seen in your life. And he knows what I'm talking about.
Okay, so there you have it from the horse's mouth. Teofimo Lopez Sr. Okay, this is what we're gonna expect from Teofimo. They're gonna unleash him. He's gonna be, he's gonna put on a boxing exhibition according to his father. So a couple of takeaways from what his father just said. He referred to the fact that it was his fault why Teofimo was performing poorly in his last couple of fights because he was forcing Teofimo to go in there and try to knock people out as opposed to just going in there having fun and boxing. And there may be some truth to that. We got to take him at his word. Okay. So Teofimo, has been supposedly fighting against the style that he likes to fight, which is to do more boxing. And we saw at the beginning of his career that he did box pretty good. I mean, Teofimo is a pretty good boxer. He's not, when he's boxing and he's looking for the uppercuts, he's looking for the hooks, and yeah, he is a pretty good boxer. I don't know how if he's improved any from back then, but it'll be interesting to see if he actually does go in there and changes his style and goes back to fundamentals in terms of doing pure boxing and then let the knockout come as it comes. That would be a great look for Teofimo. I would think that that would probably suit him better, as opposed to trying to do something that is, he's not necessarily a knockout guy. I mean, his knockout have come because they've, in his previous fights, I don't think he was necessarily looking for the knockout, but he was definitely throwing punches with bad intentions Okay, but to actually just go out there and just look for the knockout the whole fight, I don't think that's a smart way to fight. And if that's the way he was fighting in the last couple of fights, then yeah, I can see a change being necessary. So we're gonna see though. Then you have Josh Taylor. I mean, again, the same issue with Josh Taylor. He's been looking a little lackluster in the last couple of fights. But if we was to have a prime Josh Taylor in there and a prime Teofimo, this could be a great fight. Now, I saw Josh Taylor in an interview not too long ago, and you know he uh, he didn't look that good to me for some reason. He looked like aged a little bit, a little weak. I'm not sure. Maybe it was just him trying to make weight. That was a couple of days ago. So maybe it was just him, cutting weight, and he was just, because he wasn't doing an interview. Maybe he was tired or whatever. But for some reason, I just thought that he looked a little weak in there. So hopefully, it's just him cutting weight, and it's nothing endemic or nothing other than that. Because if it is, then he's gonna have a big problem in there with Teofimo because again, Teofimo is young. He's 25 years old. He's strong. He's fast. He can box when he has to. So it could be a long night for Josh Taylor unless he's in tip-top shape. Okay. So if Josh Taylor is slipping at in any way, shape, or form, this might be the right time for the takeover. Okay. So that was my assessment before the fight. And it seems that it was on point. Okay, because in terms of who's going to win the fight, I was giving the edge to Josh Taylor, but I did say that if Teofimo, comes in there and does what he needs to do, just box, and also if Josh Taylor, is actually slipping and not, you know, not just, it could be just the weight cut, it could be a couple other things, but he just didn't look himself in there. When I saw him in that interview, and in the fight against Teofimo last night, not taking anything away from Teofimo, but I didn't think that Josh Taylor performed up to the caliber of what he has done before, or what he could actually do. And I would think that it's probably him staying at the lightweight too long. It could be that he's really draining himself to make the weight, and it depends on how you make the weight. If you're doing a fat farmer, if you actually if he's staying in shape between fights, which I doubt, he probably had to do a fat farm in this one, and we saw the result of that. But I'm not going to take anything away from Teofimo. We're going to assume that Josh Taylor was in the best shape of his life, and Teofimo did what he did because Teofimo put on a dominant display of boxing. Okay, we have to give him that. I mean, he really, he was dominant. I mean, there was no question about who won the fight, and he displayed a lot of things I thought that he probably would display. More power. He's faster. It looks like, and he was just throwing punches from different angles. So when Teofimo was fighting like he's supposed to fight, excuse me, he's a great fighter. Okay, but again, I just don't think that Josh Taylor was at his best last night. But that's nothing to do with Teofimo. He did what he had to do in there, and he did it in dominant fashion. So Josh Taylor did ask for a rematch, but we don't know. I doubt if that's going to happen anytime soon. We just saw that Teofimo retired, and a lot of people are questioning, as to why he retired. I mean, he looked pretty good last night in the fight. Here's some of the highlights. Okay, he was putting it on Josh Taylor. You know, great fight, really. Josh did his thing, but Teofimo was just too fast, too slick, and he started getting confidence as the rounds went by, and he showed that confidence. So it was a great performance. So what's next for Teofimo now that he's retired? guy's funny as hell. Well, so what's this retirement all about? So Teofimo, he claimed that he's retired. He did mention something about he only made $1 million for the fight and what he can, and which is surprising. Well, then again, maybe not because he didn't have any belts and he wasn't. His last two fights wasn't. Any bonanza pay per view wise or anything like that. They weren't pay per view, I don't believe. And he didn't. He hasn't really. He's been performing lackluster in the last two fights. So I mean, what did you expect? But I mean, again, $1 million is really that much for a fighter of his caliber. I would think he should be getting at least a little more than that. I would think. But then again, he doesn't have any belts, and you got welterweights making 1.2, and even less than $1 million. So it's not surprising. But let's hear what Teofimo has to say about his retirement because he spoke a lot about his retirement before the fight, actually. And he didn't say retirement then, but he was talking in a way that you can see that he was up to something. So let's hear what he had to say.
So how do I do it? I look good doing it. I fight great looking like it. And then we beat the top guy. And then, hey, who wants me on their network?
Shout out to Fight
Who
Hub
wants the
TV.
highest views on their network? I mean, I still hold the highest ratings on ESPN, 4.3 million views. Still to this day, in boxing, to this day. And that was in 2020. We're in 2023 now.
Yeah, Teofimo, that was in 2020. We're in 2023 now. Hello.
You know what I mean? So yeah, man, I'm just really aiming for who wants to buy me out. It's not gonna be a big deal. It's not gonna be a lot of money for them to buy me out.
Okay, so you see there, Teofimo is saying that he wants to get bought out of his contract with Top Rank. And one of the reasons he gave was that he's not making enough money. And he mentioned Devin Haney and these guys getting more promotion than him. But Devin Haney, is a guy who took the business in his hand, like what Teofimo is trying to do now. And I don't blame Teofimo for wanting to get bought out of his contract. As a matter of fact, I recommend it. Okay, that's what he's supposed to do. But I don't know if he's in a position to do that now. He probably thinks he is because he just won the title and he could, get out of his contract. He figured somebody might want to buy him out. But the way you buy out of your contract is you buy yourself out of your contract. You don't let somebody else buy you out because then you're gonna be in the same position you was in before. Unless these people are people that you got together to buy you out, but still, it all depends on what's in the fine print at the end of the day. So he's going about this a little differently. You think that he want to buy himself out as opposed to letting other people buy him out. But let's hear what you got to say.
Because I'm at the end of my contract. They don't want me anyways. So it's a win-win-win for everybody.
What? Why? When you say they, do you mean ESPN or do you mean Top Rank? And I guess in your opinion, why do you feel that they
If it
don't
fits the
want you?
shoe, if it
Yeah.
fits the shoe, it fits. Right? If it fits the shoe, then hey, it fits. Hey, no bad blood. I got my takeover promotions. Obviously, I know I'm going to see that side again. So it may be with me, it may not be with me. You know. But after this fight, I'm going to start signing fighters and working on those things as well. Become an actual part of the business of boxing and kind of do my own key points in there. You know,
Mm.
trying to help the youth as much as possible, educate them, show them different ways. You can call them my disciples. You can call them whatever you want, but that's really what we're doing it for.
Disciples. That's the next thing I know. Tio has been talking a lot about God and Jesus. I don't know if you guys saw this interview or not, but you should go and check it out. Fight Hub TV. It's a great interview by the interviewer and by Fight Hub. And this, I mean, Tio went on a whole long spiel about Job and Satan and Jesus and God, and it was I mean, you gotta check it out for yourself to see it, but it was pretty interesting. I thought, to see where his mind is. He feel that he's been persecuted. He feel that he was robbed in his first fight with in the fight with Cambosos when we all know he lost the fight. I mean, if you remember correctly, not too long, a while back when Deontay lost and he was making excuses. Teofimo was one of the guys when he had just won. I think he had just got his unified belts, he had told Deontay to just take it like a man or something. I'm paraphrasing something to that effect. But when he lost, but here when Teofimo lost, in his fight, he couldn't take it like a man. And we even saw in his last fight where he lost, and he was saying, he was questioning his abilities. He was saying that, do I still have it? Do I still have it? So there's a lot going on in his head. And like I said in my previous video, that, it's understandable in a sense because he's going through a lot probably from family issues, wife issues and these things like that. I don't want to get into my personal business, but when you have those type of issues, it can be very distracting and it could really, wreak havoc on your mental abilities and what you do in day to day life. So the kid is probably going through a lot, and probably his business is not being handled the way it's supposed to be in terms of how much money he's making and all of that, and so that could be a lot of things going on. Maybe he's trying to take everything into his hand right now, and move it into a different direction, but. I'm not sure if that's the right way to do it. I mean, if you sign the contract and you can't buy it out, then you need to, live out the contract. So now he's saying that he's going to retire. So I would think that he's doing that so that he doesn't have to fight anymore for the money that he signed for to fight for. He wants more money, but he can't renegotiate now because he's still got a year left on his contract probably. So he just wants to sit out that year and not fight, just retire, and then come back again in 2024 and with it under his own promotion. But we'll see how that plays out. But if that's what he wants to do, I mean, yeah, I love it. I mean, do that. Do your own thing, but do it the right way. But I recommend that he does that, and I encourage him to do that if that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to go the Devin Haney route, which is a smart move. But him and Devin Haney have been going on different trajectories, and you can see where Devin Haney is, and we see where he is now. He's back on the top again, and he wants to make sure that I would think that he benefits from it, and I don't blame him in one bit. Get as much as you can get. You're supposed to do that. Okay, that's what it's all about. At the end of the day, legacy and the money. So go for both. And I hope he does whatever he does. It works out for him. But uh, let's let him continue.
He had set a better movement, better ten, a better tent for boxing.
Mm.
You know, I have a lot of good people. I have a lot of investors that watch me. A lot of networks outside of even the sport of boxing that are interested. So just weighing my options, man. But none of that matters until we win.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's an important fight for you. And the future of the
But
division.
I do want to clarify one
Yeah.
specific thing to Top Rank and to ESPN, and I would like for you to post this, Marcos.
Okay.
I want to thank ESPN for the platform they put me on, that they've done miraculous work on me. I wouldn't become the Takeover if it wasn't through ESPN.
Okay, so he said a couple other things here. We're not going to go into the whole thing, but he did mention Devin Haney, and he talked about how Devin Haney was getting attention and he wasn't getting the attention. So he's kind of jealous of Devin Haney, which I guess is it is what it is. So he thinks that Devin Haney is getting the shine that he should be getting. Even though he's not winning like Devin Haney, and and we all heard him talk about black fighters and how black fighters are getting the shine. They don't want to promote black fighters more than him or whatever. I don't know when that started. That must be news to me. I never heard of that before. That they want to promote black fighters above everybody else. I mean, I never heard of that. I guess these black fighters need to know that. Maybe they didn't know about that, but Teofimo was telling them about it. Okay, so I think Teofimo, when it comes to all these black fighters, and I think Teofimo is living under a misconception. I don't think he realizes that most of his fans are probably black. Okay, that's what Teofimo don't realize. I think that if Teofimo got like 100 fans, let's just say he has 100 fans. This is just hypothetical, right? He got 100 fans. Out of that 100 fans, 70 of them is probably black, and the rest of them is whatever. Okay, so this is what Teofimo got to realize, that his fans are probably mostly black fans. So if you going out there talking about black fighters, this and that, you shoot yourself in the foot, Teofimo. You need to wake up and smell the coffee, bro. But anyway, it is what it is. So, oh yeah, by the way, shout out to Fight Hub, great interview. Make sure you go on and watch this interview with Teofimo. It's a great interview by Fight Hub. Check it out. All right, so there it is. So right now, Teofimo is retired, according to him. I gave you the reason why I think he's retiring, and what I think it's a strategy he's trying to use to, become independent in the boxing business, and do his own thing. Which like I said, I encourage him to do that, but just make sure you do it the right way and don't step on anybody's toes that helped you get to where you are right now. I mean, I would think that 1 year left of your contract, just live out the 1 year and then move on from there. But maybe he doesn't feel that he's going to be on top in 1 year. Maybe he doesn't feel that he can, defend the belt and hold on to it, because we're hearing that Devin Haney wants to fight the winner of the Josh Taylor fight, against Teofimo, and so I don't think, I'm thinking if he's gonna face Teofimo, and you heard what his father said, if he's gonna face if Teofimo is gonna face Devin Haney, they want $20 million. And to tell you the truth, I don't blame them. Okay, I would want $20 million to face Devin Haney too. Okay, so I don't see anything wrong with that price, really. Okay, and that price, that fight could make that type of money to pay both of those guys $20 million if it's promoted right. And I agree with Teofimo 100% in that respect. Okay, I mean, if they want $20 million, they should get paid $20 million for that fight. It's a big fight, and I would, I mean, yeah, I don't blame him at all. So yeah, go for it, you know. But let's hope the fight does happen. Whether it's $12 million, $20 million, $10 million, $15 million, whatever. But it'll be a great fight. I think I'm thinking that Devin Haney would probably win based on what I saw of Teofimo, and what I saw of Devin Haney. So I mean, Devin Haney put in a dominant. I mean, Teofimo put in a dominant performance against Josh Taylor, but I don't think he could do the same thing against Devin Haney. It would be a whole different fight, and he wouldn't be outspeeding Devin Haney, and he probably would outpower him. But in terms of speed and boxing ability, I don't think he could outdo Devin Haney in that. So it'll be a great fight though. I think it'll be a great fight. I would give the edge to Devin Haney, but it would be a great fight. And there's no guarantee that Teofimo can't win either. He could win that fight as well. So I would love to see that fight happen. But it doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime soon, because, like I said, Teofimo is strategizing right now. He's making moves, and he's right. You make moves when you're at the top. So now that he got the belt, it's the right time to make any moves that you want to make. And so this is what he's doing. So I'm with him. So I support that, because at the end of the day, you got to do what's good for you and yours. So I don't blame him for wanting more money fighting. I don't blame him one bit. So it is what it is. So, with that said, I'm going to leave this here. I want to do some more talking about Josh Taylor and what happened with Josh Taylor. I think, before I go, I think Josh Taylor needs to move up. He needs to move up to welterweight or even junior middleweight, because the guy looks emaciated, skinny and emaciated at 147. He doesn't even look. I mean, when I saw him last night in the fight, he didn't have any muscle tone. You know what I mean? There was no muscle. I mean, he was no muscle tone in him at all. I mean, he was just. I don't think. I think he needs to move up. I think trying to make that weight. We're gonna find out if he moves up to 147 or 154. Then we'll see if he's actually, if what's going on with him, if he's finished as a fighter, if he's slipping, or if it was just the weight issue in trying to make weight, why he was, the way he is in his last couple of fights. But he need to. I would think he needs to move up. He's too big for 135 pounds. I mean 140 pounds. It's ridiculous. You know what I mean? He needs to move up, and maybe if he moves up, he'll be stronger at 147 or even stronger at 154, I would think, because he looked very weak in there against Teofimo, last night. He didn't look strong at all. Not one bit. He looked unsteady a lot of times. So, yeah, I think Josh Taylor needs to move up, and he should have moved up when he first got the belt instead of sticking around at this weight. And he might. I don't know if it's too late now or whatever. If he's too old now, if he's just getting older, maybe he's just slipping and he's getting a little older now. He doesn't look, that vibrant in there. Even with the interviews, he looks, like I said, he just doesn't look right. I think he needs to move up. So we'll see what happened though. But with that said, I'm going to leave it there. This is TB Boxing saying I'm out.
Got them out of a minute, pretty bitch, gotta show me titties. This is the life that I chose, huh? On the block with the pole, huh? This is the life that I chose, huh? On the block with the pole, huh? That life before riches, huh? That life before riches, huh? Pretty bitch, show me titties, huh? And I got the glazzy run up on me, I'ma make you get it. I'ma make you get it.